Yes, the evening appointments are confirmed.
Excuse me, doctor. My legs are weak these days. I shake when climbing stairs, and I get tired when standing for a long time.
I understand. We're going to take good care of you.
Have you ever wondered why you walk every day, but your body still gets weaker and your muscles still atrophy over time? Doctors always recommend walking or hitting 10,000 steps for seniors to maintain their health, but in reality, walking alone is not enough to build muscle. The intensity is too low, so the muscles are not activated properly, while many internet experts only talk about diet. Watch until the end to understand why you need to make a change, and comment, "I'm ready," if you want detailed instructions. Have you ever felt like you're slowly disappearing inside your own body? You still walk every day, eat regularly, and believe that staying active is enough to stay healthy. Yet somehow, your body doesn't seem to agree. Your arms feel weaker, your shoulders ache, and one morning, even pushing open the bathroom door feels heavy. That's not just aging, that's your muscles crying out for help as they quietly waste away. I remember clearly the story of Mr. Lamb, a 72-year-old man who used to be the pillar of his family. He had worked as a builder his whole life, with strong hands and broad shoulders, and he always believed he would never lose his strength. But one morning, while trying to lift a small flower pot, he heard a soft crack in his shoulder. From that day on, even brushing his hair, holding a kettle, or lifting anything became painful. He rushed into my clinic, frustrated and confused. "Doctor, I walk every day over 10,000 steps. Everyone says I'm doing great, so why am I still getting weaker?" I smiled gently and asked, "Have you ever made your body truly push back against gravity?" He was silent. That's when I asked him to try something small wall push-ups. Many people believe walking is the perfect full-body exercise. It's true that it's great for your heart, lungs, and joints, but walking only activates about 20 to 30% of your muscle capacity. That means more than 2/3 of your muscles remain asleep. The human body wasn't designed just to move. It was designed to resist, to push, to hold, to bear load. When you only walk, your muscles aren't being challenged enough to grow. And without challenge, muscles don't get stronger, they fade away. That's why, even though you stay active, you may feel weaker year after year. A single misstep, or even reaching too far, can cause a strain, a fall, or worse, a fracture. But here's the good news. There's still a gentle, powerful way to reverse it, and it starts with nothing more than a wall inside your home. I often tell my patients, if you can touch a wall, you can start rebuilding your strength. Wall push-ups look simple, but they're incredibly effective. No weights, no gym, no equipment, just your own body and a sturdy wall. When you push away from it, your chest, shoulders, arms, and core all work together. Unlike walking, which barely wakes your muscles, wall push-ups engage 60 to 70% of your strength 3 times more. That slight trembling or warmth you feel after a few pushes? That's your muscles waking up again. According to the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity, a 12-week study of 150 adults aged 65 to 85 found that doing wall push-ups just 3 times a week increased upper body strength by 31% and added 1 kilogram of lean muscle. For seniors, that 1 kilogram can mean the difference between fatigue and energy, between needing help to stand and moving freely again. When you perform wall push-ups, your body does more than move, it triggers a biological process called mechanotransduction. Your muscle cells sense the pressure and send signals to your DNA to build new proteins and fibers. In other words, every time you push yourself off the wall, you're sending a rebuild command to your body. Whether you're 60, 70, or even 90, your muscles can still grow, they're just waiting for your signal. And the best part? It's easy to start. Stand an arm's length from the wall, feet hip-width apart, palms flat at shoulder height, fingers pointing upward. Keep your body straight from head to heel. Slowly lower yourself until your nose almost touches the wall, then push back. Inhale as you go down, exhale as you push up. Do 8-10 reps, rest for 1 minute, and repeat for 3 sets. If it feels too easy, take half a step back the further you stand, the greater the resistance. When Mr. Lamb started, he could only do 6 reps before running out of breath. I told him not to rush, just stay consistent. 3 weeks later, he came back smiling. His shoulder pain was gone, his arms felt stronger, and for the first time in months he could lift a 5-liter water jug without trembling. A few weeks later, he texted me, "Doctor, I did 30 push-ups this morning and didn't even feel tired. I thought I'd never be able to do that again." I smiled reading his message, not because of the number, but because of what it represented: hope. At 60 or 70, your body doesn't need speed, it needs smart activation. Wall push-ups don't require strong joints or heavy weights, but they target the most essential muscles for healthy aging. Your chest muscles to support posture and prevent hunching, your shoulders and arms to help you push, hold, and balance, and your core muscles to stabilize your spine and reduce back pain. This is the foundation every senior should start with before moving on to squats or calf raises. Maybe as you read this, you're thinking, I can't do that. But remember, Mr. Lamb once said the same thing. Today he does 30 wall push-ups every night, sleeps better, and wakes up pain-free. So tonight, why not start? It only takes 3 minutes and one wall. When you place your palms against it, think of it not as exercise, but as laying the foundation for your strength, independence, and dignity. And if you feel even a small spark of motivation right now, type, I'll start today. Because just a few weeks from now, you might be the next person telling your story, the story of how you reclaimed your strength, your confidence, and the joy of living inside your own body again. After finishing their first wall push-up session, most of my older patients share the same reaction. They look at their hands, smile, and say, I didn't realize I still had this much strength. I usually nod and reply, that's just the upper body. Now we need to take care of what's below your legs. Because here's a truth few people talk about. You can have a strong back and solid shoulders, but if your legs are weak, everything else becomes fragile. And among all the lower body exercises, none is simpler, yet more powerful, than the calf raise. Imagine this. Early in the morning, as you step out of bed, your feet feel heavy. Maybe you walked a little too much the day before, or maybe your blood circulation has slowed, making your feet swollen. That feeling is familiar to most seniors' stiff, swollen legs that move sluggishly, but few realize the real problem isn't age. It's the forgotten muscle, the soleus, the deep muscle in your calf, often called the second heart. Why such a name? Because when the soleus contracts, it pumps blood from the legs back to the heart, keeping your circulation strong. But when it weakens, blood pools in the lower limbs, leading to swelling, heaviness, and even nighttime cramps. Every time you wake up with a painful calf spasm, it's your second heart crying for help. And the simplest way to revive it is with one movement, the calf raise. I remember Mrs. Mai, 68 years old, who came to my clinic with swollen legs and compression socks that she wore almost all day. She complained that despite walking a lot, her legs still hurt and felt cold, and the cramps at night were unbearable. I smiled and said, try this exercise for 2 weeks. If nothing changes, I'll give you something else. She looked doubtful. The exercise I mentioned was nothing more than raising her heels. She laughed. That's it? I do that every time I reach for something on the shelf. I told her, yes, but this time you'll do it right. On the first day, she stood in front of a mirror. I told her to stand straight, lightly place her hands on the wall, inhale, then slowly lift her heels, hold for 2 seconds, and exhale as she came down. After just 5 repetitions, her legs trembled and she stopped. Perfect, I said. 5 is enough for today. Tomorrow, do 1 more. She followed through. A week later, she returned smiling. I can't believe it, just from lifting my heels. My legs feel lighter. I slept through the night without cramps. The power of this exercise doesn't come from how it looks. It comes from what's happening inside your body. Each time you lift your heels, the soleus and gastrocnemius muscles contract together, pushing blood upward toward the heart. According to research from the University of Colorado, seniors over 65 who did calf raises daily increased their leg strength by 22% and venous blood flow by 40%. Those aren't just numbers on paper. I see that transformation every day in my clinic. Some patients tell me they thought this exercise was too boring until they felt the difference. One 74-year-old man, who used to rely partly on a wheelchair because of cold, swollen feet, regained warmth and color in his legs after 3 weeks of calf raises. The morning he walked into his garden without his cane, he said, I thought my legs were too old to change. Turns out, lifting a few centimeters every day was all it took. If you're just starting, think of this movement as your body's natural rhythm. Stand tall. Place your hands on a chair or wall for balance. Then inhale, lift your heels, hold for 2 seconds, and exhale as you slowly lower down. Do 15 to 20 repetitions. 2 sets per day. Morning and afternoon work best. And remember, morning is golden. A few minutes of heel lifts right after waking can prevent swelling all day long. As you train, you'll feel warmth building in your calves, a gentle, steady tension. That's your blood pumping stronger again. Many people describe it as if their body suddenly flipped the circulation switch back on. And if you feel a little fatigue, don't worry, that's not pain. That's your muscles remembering how to work. Within days, you'll notice a difference. Lighter legs, more flexible ankles, and most importantly, a sense of vitality returning. Those first few steps in the morning will feel steadier, surer. Calf raises also have an unexpected benefit. They reactivate the neuromuscular reflex, helping your brain and legs talk to each other again. In older adults who move less, this connection weakens, slowing reaction time and increasing the risk of falls. By practicing heel lifts regularly, you awaken that pathway so your body responds faster when you lose balance. In other words, lifting your heels just a few centimeters a day can save you from a dangerous fall. And the best part? You can do it anywhere while brushing your teeth, waiting for the kettle to boil, watching TV, or even cooking. It takes only minutes, but the results can be life-changing. When Mrs. Mai completed her 3rd week, she told me, "Now every morning before making tea, I lift my heels. Even on cold days, my feet stay warm and the numbness is gone. I can feel my blood flowing again." I smiled and replied, "Exactly. You've just awakened your second heart." Quote, "If you're reading this, you might be wondering, can something so simple really work? Try it and see. Place your hands on the wall, close your eyes, take a deep breath, and gently lift your heels. Hold for 2 seconds, then lower slowly. Feel the blood move, your feet warm up, your legs come alive. Because sometimes the most powerful changes don't come from complicated workouts, they come from small, meaningful movements done with awareness. Today, all you need to do is stand up and lift your heels, because a few weeks from now, you might be the one telling your own story, or the story of how you awakened your second heart and reclaimed your strength with every step. And as I always tell my patients after they finish their wall push-ups, you've rebuilt the upper part of your body. Now it's time to awaken your legs so they don't just hold you up, but carry you forward. Quote, "How many times have you tiptoed today?" Comment the first number that comes to mind. I still remember the pale face of Mr. Hoa, 71, when he entered my clinic that morning. His body trembled, his hands clutched the edge of the chair as if he were afraid of falling into an invisible hole. His voice cracked, his breath short. "Doctor, this morning I almost fell when I tried to get up from the chair. My legs, they just wouldn't listen to me." Quote, "There had been no accident, no pain, no warning, only the terrifying moment when his legs, once sturdy as pillars, suddenly gave out like sinking sand. That fear, the fear of your own body betraying you, is one I've seen hundreds of times in the eyes of older patients. It's a quiet terror, colder and deeper than any physical pain. The truth is this: aging doesn't destroy you, weakness in your legs does. You can have a strong heart, a sharp mind, and steady blood pressure, but if your thighs and hips lose strength, everything else collapses like dominoes. One fall can steal your freedom for life. I told him stories of others just like him, people who thought they were just a little weak until they couldn't get out of bed without help, until they needed to cling to the wall just to walk to the bathroom, until they stopped stepping outside because they were afraid to fall. Weakness doesn't arrive overnight. It creeps in silently every time you sit longer, bend less, or skip one small act of movement. "Do you want your legs back?" I asked. He looked at me with a mix of fear and hope. "Is that even possible, doctor? I don't want to spend the rest of my life trapped in a chair." I pulled a sturdy wooden chair into the middle of the room and said, "We're going to start right here. No gym, no weights, just your body and this chair." He gave a nervous laugh. "Does it hurt?" I shook my head. "It won't hurt, but it will remind your legs what they were made to do." The exercise I showed him, the chair squat, sounds almost too simple to matter, but it's one of the most powerful movements a person can do. It looks like an everyday motion, sitting down and standing up, but inside your body, it sparks a biological storm. Every time you lower yourself, your thighs and glutes stretch to resist gravity. Every time you rise, they contract powerfully to lift your body. When done correctly, 75% of your quadriceps and 80% of your glutes activate at once, sending signals to your brain and reawakening the entire movement system that has lain dormant for years. I guided him carefully. Stand tall with your feet shoulder-width apart. Take a deep breath. Push your hips back as if you're about to sit. When your hips touch the chair, pause for half a second, then press your heels into the floor and stand back up slowly. Keep your back straight, chest lifted, eyes forward. He tried. His legs shook, his back wavered, and his breathing grew heavy. But I didn't stop him. When he finally stood tall again, the look on his face was radiant, the look of someone rediscovering strength he thought he'd lost forever. He managed 3 repetitions before collapsing back into the chair, panting. "I thought it'd be easy," he said between breaths, "but it's hard. Still, I want to keep trying." I smiled, because I knew the first time you stand up again, you've already won half the battle. I told him about a study published in the International Journal of Environmental Research and Public Health. 200 adults aged 70-92 practiced chair squats 4 times a week for 16 weeks. The results were remarkable. 1. 7 kilograms of leg muscle gained, a 43% improvement in stand-up speed, and a 50% reduction in fall risk. The human body never loses its ability to grow, I said. It's just waiting for you to give it the command. 2 weeks later, Mr. Hua came back. His face was different, brighter, more alive. "I've been practicing every morning," he told me. "Now I can stand up and sit down without using my hands. And strangely enough, I'm sleeping better and eating more." Quote, I explained that during squats, the body releases growth hormone and testosterone, the youth fuels that often fade with age. They don't just rebuild muscle, they restore energy, appetite, and clarity. By the 2nd month, he didn't sit down at all when he entered the clinic. He walked in upright, eyes shining. "Doctor, I can climb stairs again. Yesterday, I even went shopping with my wife." I didn't say anything. I just smiled, because I knew what he had reclaimed wasn't just muscle. It was freedom. The chair squat doesn't just strengthen the body. It gives back control, that deep, quiet confidence of being able to move without fear. Each time you rise without holding on, you're telling your body, "I'm still in charge." If your heart beats a little faster while reading this, that's good. It means you still care, and caring means you still want to live fully. Try it right now. Grab a sturdy chair, stand tall, breathe in. Lower yourself slowly until your hips lightly touch the seat. Then rise again. Once, twice, 3 times. If your legs tremble, don't panic. Trembling means your body is waking up. Every squat you complete is a small victory. Every exhale is your declaration. "I'm not done yet." I always tell my patients, you can grow old, but don't let your legs grow silent. Because once you lose the ability to stand up, you lose the world. But if you can still stand, if you can still push yourself one more time, you are winning inch by inch, day by day. Remember, aging isn't what destroys us, giving up is. And sometimes, reclaiming your life begins with one simple act: standing up from a chair. There's one thing many people don't realize. You can exercise your whole life, walk tens of thousands of steps every day, stretch, lift your arms, bend your knees, and still have a body that feels lifeless if you don't know how to breathe correctly. I've met hundreds of older adults who tell me the same thing. "Doctor, I exercise regularly, I eat well, but I still feel tired, dizzy, and weak." They assume the problem comes from aging, heart health, or blood pressure, but the truth is far simpler and more surprising. They aren't really breathing, they're just inhaling. Most older adults breathe with their chest short, shallow breaths. Their shoulders lift, their neck tightens, their belly flattens as if there's no room for air to pass through. This shallow breathing means oxygen never fully nourishes the body. Over time, energy drains away. The mind grows foggy, the heart races, the shoulders stiffen, and worse, the nervous system stays trapped in constant tension. Most people don't realize that every incorrect breath is one step closer to fatigue and imbalance. Because breathing is the invisible bridge between the body and life, the foundation that keeps every movement, every motion, standing, sitting, bending, or turning, smooth and safe. I still remember Mrs. Han, 68 years old, a former PE teacher who came into my clinic pale and trembling. She said, "Doctor, I can barely climb a few stairs before my heart pounds, my head spins, and I feel like collapsing." When I checked, her oxygen levels dropped sharply after just a few steps. But what struck me most was how she breathed, shoulders rising, chest tight, stomach hollow, a classic mistake among seniors. I placed her hand on her belly and said, "Try inhaling again, but this time don't let your shoulders lift. Let your belly expand, as if the air is pushing from below." She laughed. "You mean I have to learn how to breathe?" But after just a few minutes, her eyes widened. It feels so comfortable, like my chest just opened up. The fifth exercise I taught her is called diaphragmatic breathing, a deep breathing technique that helps the body function the way it was designed to. The diaphragm is a sheet of muscle between your chest and abdomen, working like a natural pump with every inhale and exhale. When the diaphragm is strong, it pulls air deep into the lungs, enriches the blood with oxygen, expels waste gases, and activates your core muscles, those that protect the spine, stabilize posture, and keep you upright. But when it weakens, your neck, shoulders, and back are forced to compensate, leading to stiffness, fatigue, and dizziness. According to a study from the University of Tokyo, older adults who practiced diaphragmatic breathing twice a day for 4 weeks increased lung capacity by 15%, strengthened deep core muscle activity by 30%, and significantly lowered blood pressure. This isn't a strenuous workout, it's deep internal recovery, a way to reactivate life that anyone can do. The method is simple. Sit upright or lie flat on your bed. Relax your shoulders. Place one hand on your chest and the other on your belly. Inhale deeply through your nose, so the hand on your belly rises while the hand on your chest stays still. Hold your breath for 2 seconds, then slowly exhale through your mouth until your belly falls. Repeat 10-12 times, twice a day, once after waking up and once before sleeping. Within just a few days, you'll notice the change. Your mind feels clearer, your heartbeat steadier, your shoulders looser, and your whole body gently warming from within. 12 weeks later, Missus, Han returned with a radiant smile. She said, "Now I can climb stairs without feeling tired. Every morning I breathe for a few minutes and feel alert all day." I looked at her and smiled. It wasn't the oxygen numbers that moved me. It was that she had regained something most people lose after 60, the feeling of control over their own body. Diaphragmatic breathing doesn't just make you stronger, it makes you calmer, more focused. Each deep breath activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural relaxation switch, lowering your heart rate, easing tension, and quieting your mind. When you breathe properly, you're not only nourishing your muscles, you're feeding your soul. Many of my elderly patients tell me they sleep better, eat better, and no longer wake up with a heavy head or ringing ears, all thanks to this tiny habit. In truth, we breathe more than 20,000 times a day, yet most of those breaths only fill half our lungs. Air comes and goes too quickly to feed our cells. The body grows tired without us realizing. I used to think the scariest part of aging was falling, but now I believe it's living without truly breathing. So if you're reading this, stop for a moment. Sit down, place your hand on your belly, close your eyes, and take one deep breath. Feel the air move through your nose, fill your belly, stretch your skin beneath your palm. Then slowly exhale, feeling every bit of air leave your body. Just a few breaths like that and you'll notice your heart calming, your mind clearing, and a quiet peace rising inside you. This exercise doesn't need a gym, equipment, or strength, only one decision: to begin again with your breath. Because sometimes real power doesn't come from muscle, it comes from a breath deep enough to make you feel alive again. And if today is your first time trying, be patient. Just a few minutes a day, but they'll be the most valuable minutes you give yourself. When you learn to breathe again, you're not just nurturing your body, you're extending your life. One breath, one heartbeat at a time. Remember, age may slow your steps, but as long as you breathe deeply, you're still moving forward. So right now, take one slow, deep breath, and if you feel your body awakening, comment 1 below so I'll know you're ready to start this journey with me. In the previous video, we talked about the chair squat exercise, a simple yet powerful movement that strengthens your legs and keeps your knees flexible as you age. But today, I want to focus on something even more important than muscle strength balance. Because no matter how strong or active you are, if you lose your balance for even 1 second, everything you've worked for could disappear in a single fall. And at the age of 60 or 70, a fall isn't just a bruise, it can mark the beginning of losing independence, confidence, and freedom. That's why today, I want to show you exercise #4, one leg balance. It's simple, gentle, but incredibly powerful for protecting your safety and stability. I once met Mr. Trong, a 70-year-old man who had always been strong and active. He walked every morning, climbed stairs easily, and even helped his wife carry groceries. But one day, he fell just from bending over to pick up his slippers. He told me, "I never thought I could fall that easily." I exercise every day, but when I lost my balance, my body just couldn't react. Since then, he'd been afraid to stand for too long, afraid to move too quickly. When he came to see me, he sighed and said, "Doctor, I walk every day. Why do I still feel weak?" I smiled and told him, "Walking helps you move forward, but it doesn't help you stay steady." Quote, "As we age, the nerves that control our balance start to react more slowly. Muscles weaken, coordination declines, and even simple movements become uncertain. And the truth is, a single fall can change everything. But the good news is that the human body can still be trained to regain control. The one-leg balance exercise is one of the simplest yet most effective ways to do it. Here's how to start. Stand near a wall or sturdy chair for support. Slowly lift one leg off the ground by about 10-15 centimeters, 4-6 inches. Hold the position for 20 to 30 seconds, then switch legs. Once you get comfortable, increase the time to 1 minute per side. If you want a challenge, close your eyes or hold a light 0.5 kilograms, 1 pound weight. When you remove visual support, your nervous system and muscles must work harder, and that's exactly how your balance improves. It may look simple, but this exercise activates your whole body. When you lift one leg, your gluteus medius, quadriceps, core, and ankle stabilizers all engage to keep you upright. These muscles coordinate to prevent you from tipping over. This doesn't just make you stronger, it makes your reactions sharper. A small rock on the road, a slippery step, or a sudden twist won't scare you anymore. A 2022 Journal of Gerontology study showed that seniors who practiced one-leg balance for just 2 minutes per side each day reduced their risk of falling by 37% within 6 months. You don't need any equipment, you don't need a gym, just your own body and a few minutes a day. Imagine being able to walk down the stairs without holding the rail, bend to pick up an object without wobbling, or stroll confidently through a crowded market without fear. Just a few minutes a day can truly change your life. When I first showed this exercise to Mr. Trong, he could barely last 8 seconds before grabbing the wall. He laughed nervously. "Doctor, I thought this would be easy." I encouraged him to keep going, a little at a time. After 2 weeks, he could balance for 30 seconds without support. After 6 weeks, he came back to me, walking tall and smiling. "Now I can wash dishes without my legs shaking," he said proudly. "My wife says I walk like I'm young again." That moment touched me deeply because the real success of this exercise isn't just stronger legs, it's the return of confidence. Balancing on one leg helps your brain and body reconnect. Every time you lift your leg, your brain processes dozens of signals from your eyes, inner ears, feet, and muscles to keep you steady. Each extra second you can hold that position is proof that your nervous system is getting sharper. That's why this exercise doesn't just build strength, it slows the effects of aging on your nervous system. People who practice balance regularly react faster when they slip, climb stairs more confidently, and feel less dizzy when they move. I always tell my older patients, balance isn't a small thing, it's the foundation of independence. At 70, nothing is more valuable than being able to stand, walk, and move freely without needing someone's help. Each time you lift your leg, you're not just training your muscles, you're teaching your body how to protect itself and your mind how to stay calm under pressure. You can do this exercise anywhere in your living room, hallway, balcony, or even while brushing your teeth. Just a few minutes each day can make a real difference. At first, you might feel your legs shaking. Don't worry, that's a good sign. It means your muscles are waking up. Many people hesitate because they're afraid of falling or think they're too weak. But the longer you wait, the more your body forgets how to stay steady. Sometimes the biggest change doesn't come from complicated routines. It comes from the simplest movement done consistently. So right now, I want you to try it. Stand up, find a wall or chair for support, lift one leg, take a deep breath, and hold for 30 seconds. Feel your body working the muscles tightening, the small tremors, the quiet strength building inside you. When you exhale, know that in that moment, you're not just exercising, you're reclaiming your freedom. And if this exercise resonates with you, if you want to feel strong, balanced, and confident again, comment 1 below, so I'll know you're ready to begin this journey with me. Because once you can stand firm, everything else in life becomes steady too. In short, age does not take away your strength, only your silence, and letting go do that. Get up, do these 5 exercises, eat enough protein, supplement D3, CoQ10, and omega-3 to awaken your potential. Keep doing it 4 days a week. You will see yourself changing every day. If you believe it is time to regain your health and freedom, comment, "I am ready," like and follow to not miss the next video.